Hello and welcome to episode 40 of the Swimrun Show podcast. I'm Mike, and before our special guest this week, I have an apology to make to James Johnson. I referred to James as James Jameson in the recording with Nicholas Roman, our very special guest. So apologies, James Johnson. Of course, some of you may remember James won Ötelö the final 15 over in Sweden. Yes, a GB athlete was top of the podium. Check it. We had him on the podcast actually a few weeks back, sometime in late September. James did well in Abu Dhabi as well, and he looks like a really fast 20-year-old, so a youngster. Great to have some youngsters in the sport from the UK. And part of the reason I'm putting on more eliminator style events is one, they're a lot of fun, but two, I'm trying to get more youngsters in and just make it easier to try swim run. I found the workshops great, and those kind of swim run coaching, if you like, they're really good. But you learn the most when you're racing. And an eliminator is a little bit like a micro teach come race for a lot of people. If you kind of lap 1, lap 2 is like you're learning. Lap 3, lap 4, you've hopefully cracked it. And if you've got the speed, lap 5, lap 6 is your time to race. For some guys, though, it's lap 1 and lap 2 are just a lot of fun, and that's all they want to do. In fact, the first eliminator swim run in Liverpool, there was a lady, she did lap 1, and she made the cutoff, but she just started to get dressed. I said, "Are you okay?" I said, yeah, I loved it. I've just got to go and pick the kids up from the pool. So she just wanted to do one lap and then crack on with picking up the kids from the pool. So yeah, it's pretty easy to enter. We've kept the cost as low as we possibly can, and we're introducing the format to Talyllyn and Abu Dhabi, both in Wales. Beautiful Wales, of course. Talyllyn is lake-based, and Abu Dhabi is more estuary stroke sea based. Lots of good swimming, brilliant swimming. So yeah, check those out. May the 3rd for Liverpool, May the 11th for Talyllyn, and 13th of September for Abu Dhabi. We also have a 6th of September edition in Liverpool too. So 4 options there. And there's loads. We're going to do a whole feature on UK races across the whole of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, of course. Who knows? Maybe Scotland. But anyway, Isles of Scilly, of course, Jersey, all of that crack. Now, what else is happening? Yeah, Nicholas Roman. What a guy. So enthusiastic. Here we go. Let's crack on. SWIMROX. What's SWIMROX? Well, this is what it is. Let's go. Okay, we have Nicholas Roman here today. How are you, Nicholas?
Very good, very good.
Okay,
Sun is shining in Sweden. We have snow, and we have like -4 today, which I enjoy as an ice skater. We get the lakes freezing now again, so we can go ice skating.
Oh, nice. Well, it's actually not that dissimilar here in the UK at the moment. We've had some snow, and we've got some ice, a little bit of ice this morning. I'm not sure at ice skates on the lakes today, but a little bit of ice. So there we go. Well, great, Nicholas.
Or you can do skate swim. Skate swim.
Yeah. Don't start another sport.
Yeah.
So, Nicholas, some of you may well know him from EX Swimrun, and he's just launched, which we'll talk about later, but he's just launched something called, SWIMROX. Tell us about SWIMROX. What's that? What is that?
Well, basically, as you know, we have a podcast as well, the EX Swimrun and Fun podcast. It's me and Amy.
Mm-hmm.
And she sort of got nerded into HYROX, which I'm sure it's in the UK. I know there's a big competition in Manchester because a friend of mine, Uffe Petersen, he is European. He came second in the European Championships in HYROX, which is like super cool, standardized CrossFit competition where you run a kilometer, you do CrossFit, like pulling a sled. you run a kilometer, you throw a ball, you run a kilometer. And it's like that 16 intervals, hardcore. It's really cool. And we thought we need to try this. Amy was going to do the big competition here in Stockholm. So we had one of our episodes with Uffe and Camilla. She's the world champion in her age group. So we went out and tried it out at one of these centers where you can try it. And it was really cool. I mean, it was like running like a 4 minute K running, and then you had like 1 minute to, get to the next station. And then you're pulling a sled that I don't know how many weights was on that. It was probably like 90 or 100 kilos. It was so heavy. And you're pushing that sled 250 meters, and then, you go run another 4K. So it was brutal, but
Wow.
it was a cool thing, cool sport. Check it out.
It's on my list of things to check out for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a super good. I mean, what we found after that episode with the interviews with them and everything was it's like the perfect off-season training for a swim runner because you're getting the running, you're getting the strength, and you're getting the transitions all the time, going from high intensity to strength to low intensity and stuff like that. But when we were, I'm going to get back to SWIMROX now. When we were interviewing them and when we were trying it, and afterwards, I had like an idea, like you should be able to do this swim run style. We should be able to adapt this new trendy sport, this cool sort of the coolness in it, and do something swim run related. So why not just try and instead of running 1K, swimming the equivalent of 1K. Obviously not swimming 1 kilometer, but swimming the equivalent and then jumping out of the pool, doing a CrossFit exercise, back in the pool, and doing 16 intervals that way. And I sort of toyed with the idea, calling it SWIMROX, of course, because it's a cool name. And then, I figured out a concept, and we tried it a few weeks ago. Just like we were 16 people trying it at my local, gym here or the swimming pool.
Okay. And is it right? HYROX you do in teams of 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that the same with the SWIMROX as well?
Yeah, you can do HYROX solo, which is brutal because you're doing the same amount of exercises, but you just do them yourself. So team exercise, when you do it team-based, you're sort of sharing everything. So if you have to push that sled 250 meters, I can push like 50 and then you jump in, Mike, and it's your turn and you push 50 and then I jump in. But when you're doing it solo, you have to do the full distance yourself. So we said for the SWIMROX, we wanted only teams to try it, just to make it team-based because it's swim run. We think, of course, we have solo classes in all the swim runs, but it is a team sport. So we did it team-wise.
Okay. So how does that work then? You swim together?
Right. So the idea is, you start, we had 16 people, so 8 teams, and we had 8 stations on land. And then we had 2 lanes in the pool. So 8 people started swimming, and 8 people started on land. So it was like a 4-minute interval. So it was like, ready, steady, go. And then they had to start swimming. And the idea was to do at least 200 and no paddles or pull buoys. So only like clean swimming, 200. Yeah, exactly. For me, and it sounds like for you, that's probably equivalent to running like a 4K or like a 4-minute kilometer. We pretty quickly realized that for some people, like we had a couple of the super sprinters that were there, for them, a 200-meter swim in 4 minutes is nothing. They can do like 350.
Yeah.
So I asked them, okay, you can push and see how far you can go. And then for some people, it was like, okay, I really need my pull buoy because I'm struggling here. So we said, okay, you can have the pull buoy and the paddles this time, and then we'll see what happens next time. So it's like a 200-meter swim. 4-minute mark, we had staff, and they were like with a whistle, go and then stop, out of the pool, switching, go to station 1, and then the people that were on land into the pool, and they after 1 minute rest, or it was like a 1-minute transition, it was go, and it was on and off for like that for 16 intervals. So it's 1 hour and 20 minutes full on all the time.
Okay,
and it was really tough.
Okay, so just to clarify, so those 8 on land and 8 in water, that would have been 4 teams of 2, right? On land,
yeah,
4
exactly.
teams. Okay.
Yeah.
And with the swimming,
so we were sharing the land exercises, and I had, I had a look at some CrossFit exercises, and I was looking, and I've done a bit of this similar things down at Plaitas and Fuerteventura. So I found like 8 exercises that you can do in like next to a swimming pool when you're wet in a wetsuit, or not in a wetsuit, in like your swimming trunks or your speedos or whatever. And we had some gear, like we had the 8 exercises we had were push-ups, we had lunges, we had sit-ups, kettlebell swing, and then we had Russian twist with like a weight. We had squat jumps, burpees, and then one-handed kettlebell press. So we did have like 6 kettlebells that you could choose from, different weights if you're like male, female, mixed, depending on the teams. And then mats, and stations. And
Mm.
we went through all the exercises before. So everybody knew what they were supposed to do. And then you had like, we started with like, you have to do 100 of everything. That's the minimum, except for the burpees. We had 60 burpees, which was brutal doing 60 burpees, but you could share it. So,
Okay,
I mean,
so
I could do like 20.
you'd have 100. You'd have to do 100 in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
104 minutes.
So, and if you get to 92 in 4 minutes, what happens?
Well, you just did 92 in the first time.
You don't get knocked
See,
out.
no, you don't get knocked out, and I mean you could share them. I mean all of the exercises, we pretty much 100 was a little not really enough to really push. But I
Okay.
was telling everybody beforehand, you're my like. I mean, this is an experiment. I need to know how many push-ups can you do as a group, as a pair of two when
Mm,
you split them. How
mm,
many kettlebell swings can you do? So next time I have different. It won't be 100
mhm.
because we had one pair. They did 220 push-ups when I had 100.
Mm.
I mean, I did it with my daughter. She's 18, so, and she's a bit of a sore shoulder. So I was doing like 80%. I did like 80 push-ups in like 4 minutes, and
Right.
she did 20. And then, getting into the pool after that, swimming 200, you're like, oh my Lord,
Yeah.
it was so tough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it's very experimental at the moment, I guess. And is that
yeah,
how it
yeah, yeah.
works? Is that in HYROX? Sorry, I've not done it. I do need to do it. Is that how it works in HYROX? You try and do 100, but if you don't make the 100, you just carry on anyway.
Well, it depends. I mean, it's going to be the same thing here. When it's like in a controlled environment, like in a swimming pool, we don't have like a distance to swim. Like if when we do this outdoors, we're looking at doing it at a local lake here in May, maybe. Then you need to like swim around an island
Hmm.
because then you have to go around the island. Here it's a 4 minute because otherwise we'd have teams overlapping. Some aren't finished swimming, some jumping into the pool. It'll just be chaos. That's why we're limiting to 4 minutes.
Mm.
And it's the same in HYROX. When you do like the full course competition, you have to run 1 kilometer. And if that takes you 6 minutes or 3 minutes, it's up to you. And then you go to a station. And then you have to pull, like, if you're doing burpee broad jumps, you have to do 150 meters. And it's up to you how long that takes.
Okay.
But when we tried it, it was the same concept with time because we were at a gym. So you have 4 minutes, and then the next team needs your treadmill. So you need to
Mm.
go up. And if you only made 850 meters, or if you did 1.2K, then I mean, good for you.
Yeah.
But you sort of, I mean, you write on a paper how far, how many, and then of course there's a winner who's done the most, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So you don't get knocked out, but you do get you do get knocked up.
Yeah.
No,
You
that,
do.
that means you get pregnant. You get punched up or whatever.
You get okay. You don't get pregnant, just to clarify. Okay.
No, you don't get pregnant,
Good. So
but you do get beat up a bit.
okay. Good stuff. And I mean, it sounds good. I actually had a chat. It was about 2019, I remember, with a friend, and he was getting into HYROX back then, and I still haven't tried it myself. But we did talk about something, and we called it Swim Gym, which it was
Okay, yeah,
Swim Gym, but that was just a chat, and that was that. But it sounds, I think it's great. I think, how do you? I like the outdoor option of moving outdoors, definitely, because in the
yeah.
UK, swimming pool access and just general space is a bit of a problem. How is
Oh,
it in
here as
Sweden?
well.
Yeah, is it? Yeah,
Oh, it's the same. I mean,
yeah,
that was the biggest issue. That's why I tried it right between Christmas and New Year's,
right.
because then I could book 2 lanes. Basically, I could have booked probably 4 because nobody was there, but I only booked 2. Now, when I'm trying to do the next one, we'll get back to that. The competition one we're going to do in February. I mean, the hardest thing has been finding 2 lanes for 2 hours where I also get. I mean, I get to rope. I know the people at the gym because I do a lot of events there, but I get to rope off, half of that area and sort of. We have big speakers. I mean, that's one big part of HYROX. It's the coolness and it's like the music. There's like really loud music. There's a lot of hip hop or like hardcore. Like Metallica and stuff. So it really gets you pumped. So we had, of course, I asked them, can I play really loud music? And they're like, go nuts. So I brought like one of my boom box and we were like pumping out music. And that's sort of the thing. You're like pumped
Yeah.
up and you're like high-fiving each other as you meet. And it's not just a training session.
Yeah.
It's something we were doing together. And it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
A lot of fun.
Cool. Okay. So this competition that's coming up. So you've trialed the concept. You've now got a competition in February, is it?
Yeah, the 15th. We just launched this morning, the date. So it's the 15th of February. And we're going to have 12 teams. So it's 24 people. I have to limit it because then you'll be 6 people per lane, which is, I mean, and you swim in a pool. That's too many. But that's sort of part of the concept. It'll be a bit of rock and roll. You have to swim, try to pull somebody's feet to get by them, and it'll be a bit,
Yeah.
There's a coolness in it as well that it's going to be a bit tough,
Yeah. Okay. And that's so that's open to anyone, international teams, anyone. Yeah. Cool.
Anybody who wants to come to Sollentuna who can grab a spot. I mean, I think we have like 8 spots left now, 8 teams left. So we've already 4 signed up. Brilliant. The people that joined us last time for the test version, they sort of had. I emailed them last night. If you search for HYROX on the Race ID platform, you might find an open registration. So they were in there yesterday signing up.
Brilliant. Okay. Cool. Okay. So that's
so we're going to have 2 classes this time. We're going to have this is a real competition. We're going to have 2 classes. We're going to have I guess what you call like a competition class, and then we'll have a recreational class. And the difference between the two is a competition class, no pull buoys, no paddles. It's just speedos and swim. And then the recreational class, we allow pull buoys and paddles. Basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Because otherwise you're excluding so many people that want to try it but think that 1,600 meters swimming is too much.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, and especially for the swim runners, because there are swim runners who love their pull buoy and don't want to leave it behind.
Yeah. I mean, I was one of those until before this. Yeah, but before we tested this, I was at the pool twice. I usually never swim without at least a pull buoy because I'm pretty crap at swimming without. But I went to the pool because I needed to figure out how far can you swim in like 2 minutes or in 4 minutes. How far can a person like me swim? And so I was there swimming twice before, and I realized, I could do 8 times 200. I was doing it under 4 minutes. So it sort of gave me confidence that maybe I'm not that shit swimmer. So now I'm at the pool two times a week without my pull buoy or paddles. So it actually made me step outside of my comfort zone and realize that, okay, I'm actually not that bad swimmer that I thought. And it's making me a better swimmer, obviously, immediately.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So it's cool.
Yeah, that is. Okay. Thanks. So, and then the plans to go outside with the concept, is there anything penciled in for that?
Well, after that first time, we all went and had a pizza and a beer afterwards, everybody that wanted, which was basically everyone. So, of course, everybody was sort of part of this new sport, and they were like, helping me. Okay, we could do this, we could do that. But the idea is if we do it outdoors, which I hope to do, is to do, then it'll be more like HYROX for real, that you swim around an island. I think I measured it's like 250 meters around that island in a small lake. So we do around the island and then up on the beach. And then we'll have 8 stations, and you have to do 200, whatever it is, or you have to do 150 push-ups. And you can't swim the next leg until you've done it. And then basically it's the first one to finish that wins. Okay. In the indoor one, it's the team that can do like the most amount. So if we take the distance, say if they swim 350 meters, that's 350 units or whatever you call it, and then they do 100 push-ups, then they're up to 450, and we just keep adding them up. So the team with the most amount of, call it points, will win this first competition at least.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a super easy concept. You just
Mm,
need to book it, do it, have the confidence, get people there,
yeah,
put some music on. And
yeah,
it's a bit stressful. You need staff because it was really stressful to get, 4 minutes, 1 minute, 4 minute, 1 minute, like that all the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, and it sounds like for me a nightmare. The indoor scenario with this, that I can imagine that would be quite. I wouldn't like it. I could imagine doing the outdoor version as an organizer, but I get a bit claustrophobic inside. And was it there enough?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
enough space around the pool, obviously,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
okay.
mean, if you look at the pictures we posted on the website, if you go to like SwimRox, you can see that there's quite a bit of space there
Hmm.
next to the pool. And the biggest issue, that what people were a bit worried about, that was when they were doing, or before they were doing the kettlebell swing. When you swing it between your legs and you need to bring it up. We had rules, and
Mm.
obviously nobody really followed them. Like a squat jump, I showed this is a squat jump, this is not a squat jump, this is a kettlebell swing, this is not. But I mean, obviously next time we'll have people checking a bit. But when you swing that between your legs and then up, you have to go at least 90 degrees, out from your chest, so basically head height. People were a bit worried that they were going to drop it, send that kettlebell into the pool and, kill somebody swimming. But
Uh,
no, it's not an issue. It's
Good.
not. But
That's good to hear.
it was really brutal. And we
Yeah.
need to change the order because I realized I was just I didn't think of it. I just did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I just put out the stations like that. And I was getting all the stations where you were using like your upper body strength in order, and then all the ones using like your lower, like legs, like lunges, squat jumps, and they were all coming at the end as well. So after 3 stations of using like your lower body, you were just finished trying to swim with your legs, so you're
Yeah.
just pulling with your arms instead.
Yeah.
But that was so cool.
Oh, sounds great. Cool. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
exciting. I will look out for. I've just spotted it on Race ID, and I guess you'll do some
yeah,
coverage on the day, no doubt. Some video.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
time, I don't think I will actually participate. I think I need to be poolside to, organize it. Last time I was participating with my daughter, as I said, I had my friend Lulu. She came. Her boyfriend was doing it, so she wanted to see him suffer. And then I made her like race director. Here you go.
Mm.
Here's a whistle.
Yeah.
Here's a timer.
Yeah.
You make sure we get out of the pool in time. But yeah, no, next time I'll do a lot of videos and stuff and try to
Cool.
document it.
Good stuff. Good
We'll
stuff.
see. I mean, it's a fun concept. It's amazing training, off-season training. I've realized that gets you out of your comfort zone. It's social, but I mean, there are limitations, obviously, when it comes to the indoor version. We'll see the
Mhm.
outdoor one. Maybe
Mm.
that's the key. Maybe it's the outdoor version. That's the big thing. We'll see.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds great. So, moving on to more, well, still relatively new concepts you've got in EX Swimrun. All your other races
Yeah,
in end of May, isn't it? You've got lots going
yeah. We
on.
have end of May, 24th and the 25th of May is our big EX Swimruns party weekend. We call it. It's like a full weekend. We've added 2 new races or 2 new events this year. So basically, on the Saturday, on the 24th, we're doing the World Championships in swim run super sprinting, I think it's the 5th year now.
Hmm.
We've had Desiree Andersson winning 3 years in a row, or 3 years, and then we had Sabina winning 1 year, and now they're all coming back. So we'll see. It's a big battle, and that's the knockout super sprint. 4 on the starting line, 2 continue, 2 get knocked out, and you just go. It's only 1.2K course, 1 run, 1 swim, 1 run, and it's brutal. It's such a tough course because it's just downhill, and then you have to push uphill to the finish line, and it's an amazing event. So we're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it looks great. Is Max Anderson still the course record holder?
No, it's Hugo Tormento still has the course record. He's 5:55,
Oh,
which
okay.
is the course record.
I thought you. That makes
And
sense. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, he beat Max had 6:10, and then
Yeah.
Hugo did 5:55.
Okay.
And then last year we didn't have anybody smashing the record. We had Lars Ekman win. I mean, he's OG swim runner, the Beaver brothers. So he won it last year on the male side, and Desiria won it again on the female side. Not She didn't smash her record either, but we had like Olympic triathletes there. We had Olympic swimmers, runners, orienteers. So it's all about that mix of getting not only swim runners.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
had some, but and it's invitation only. So we have 16 spots per 16 male, 16 female, 15 by invitation, and then one by time trial. So you can turn up, do a lap, and if you're the fastest of the time trials, you're in the race.
yeah,
So we had like a 16-year-old try it, and he got into the race. Unfortunately, he got injured in I think heat two, so he had to drop out. But yeah, it's super cool.
yeah, yeah. And Desiree's got 6:32. Is that the course record for
Okay,
ladies? I'm just
sounds
checking it out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
yeah, sounds reasonable.
yeah, interesting.
And she is so fast. I mean, I've done that course a few times, helping people that want to train on it. And I mean, it's it's brutal. I do one lap and I'm finished. I think my best time is like 7:24, so I'm a bit 1 minute slower than Desiria. And I was running with her, filming behind her for one lap, and I could only do like, I mean, pushing up that hill. She ran away from me going up the hill,
Right.
and she'd had like, two heats in her legs as well. So
Yeah.
they're super. I mean, they're such amazing athletes. So
Yeah.
that's very cool.
Okay. Cool. And then
So that's the Saturday.
that.
And then
Yeah.
we have in the evening, we have, as most of you probably know, or if you didn't know, we have, as part of the courses the day after, we have a big jump that we call the Falcon Mountain Base Jump,
Mm,
which is like a 6.2 meter ramp that we build on a mountain, which is like the final swim. You jump off that jump, and then you swim 950 meters to the finish. So we thought of this year. There were so many people last year because it's optional to jump, and some people don't want to jump because they're afraid to jump, or they're afraid to lose their equipment, or they don't want to lose maybe their spot in the race because sometimes if there's a queue to the jump, the chicken line is faster. So we
okay.
said, let's. Last year they put the jump up on Saturday, and we were like, please don't, please nobody find this, because I mean local kids finding that they'll go, flying off it, and nobody's there to secure that it's safe for them.
Mhm.
So we said, why don't we do a jump competition and let people just come up and jump on Saturday evening? So we're hosting the inaugural Falcon Mountain base jumping competition, where it'll be like an open jump for 1 hour, and then we're going to get some real swim jumpers to do like death jumps, back flips and front flips and everything, and make it
Cool.
sort of a low key competition.
Okay.
So that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
cool.
like a Red Bull style cliff jumping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Obviously, Red Bull were interested, but they have a big death jumping competition in the south of Stockholm. So they said, we can only do one, but it looks really cool. Like, good luck. We'll send you some drinks. And we said, no, send us money. We need
Yeah.
money. We don't need drinks. But
Okay.
we're trying to get a sponsor for it because, I mean, it's not cheap to set that up. And we
Mm,
have one of these event agencies putting it up for us.
okay.
But we'll
Okay.
see. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
Everybody can jump, and we'll just have fun.
Looks good. And is
And
the
then we
jump?
have,
Yeah. The jump's
yeah,
still
sorry.
in the race the following day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if we need a permission for the jump, obviously. If we get the permission like last year, we can have it in the race and the competition. And then that's the thing. The day after, we have three races now. We have the two main races that I'll get back to in a second, but we added a new one because, I mean, you're an organizer. The issue now is getting like new people, at least in Sweden, getting new people into the sport. I guess maybe in some countries everybody's new, but for us, it's like it's the same people. We're not recruiting new youngsters. We're not getting people into the sport. So we decided to do like a five. We call it EX5. So it's a 4.7 course, but we're rounding it up to five because it sounds cooler. Um, it's a really short course that you can do in the morning. It'll be like an experienced race. We might do it as a real race. We don't know. But it's only 4.7, and there's like 700 meters swimming divided into five swims. So they're all very, very short.
Hmm.
And since we're in a bay, we don't have like, I mean, we can't send like kids and youngsters and new beginners across the bay. So we're swimming, what I call French swims, where you swim sort of out along the bay and back. So along sort of the coastline. So
What
we're
do
doing a few of those
you
swims.
call them French swims?
Yeah, because when you're in France and you do swim run, or at least when I've been at the beach, you just go out from the beach, swim alongside it, and then come in again. That's what
Okay.
we call a French swim.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're used to going. I mean, we have the islands, we have the archipelago. We're used
Yeah,
to going sort of
yeah,
go that way.
yeah,
We hardly ever swim alongside the coast because you can always run it.
yeah. Hmm.
Basically, I
Yeah.
mean that's the difference.
Hmm.
But so we're doing that race, which is open, and we're trying to get a lot of schools here. some of these like football clubs and running clubs, and everybody get the kids there. We're going to have rental suits. We can rent suit, pull buoy, and everything, so everybody can try it to get some new people in the sport, and then get a lot of people doing the two courses in the afternoon uh, with their kids or with their friend or with like their colleague or somebody who's never tried swim run. They've seen me in pictures, they've heard of me doing it, and I said, well, okay, join me. I'll help you along that course. We'll do the EX5, and then later I'm doing the EX24, so I can do both. That's the idea.
Okay. Cool. So you could do,
So it's cool.
yeah, EX5 in the morning and then 24 later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
stuff.
that one starts at 10, and I mean, you'll be finished with that course in an hour. I mean, no matter how slow you are, it'll take you an hour basically to do it. And then we have, we're building up the energy for the big races: EX short, which is 14K, and then EX 24, which is 24K. Or EX long, which is 24K, and they start at 12. So you have plenty of time.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
And those races are, I mean, we do them. It's full focus. There's a lot of focus on swimming. We love swimming. I mean, it's swim run. It's not run swim. So we have like a 21% SWIFA, which is the swim factor on the short, and I think we have a 22 on the long. So a lot of swimming, which is the cool thing.
Yeah. And I guess a lot of people. I think you said last time the guys that do the super sprint on the Saturday, they all do the one of the races on the Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of the prerequisite. We invite you to the super sprint. You can do that, but we expect you to do the one of the long or short and inspire a lot of people on those races. Because in the long run, the short one we do like a mass start traditional. Everybody sets off and they're out on the course, and then we set off the long course with a pursuit start. So we're setting them off like the perceived fastest start at the very end. So they start maybe like an hour after the first ones. And those, I mean, it's the super sprinters coming in the end. And basically, they just blow by you on the course, and you get to see like the world's best swim runners. I mean, we'll have both Sabina and Alexis there. I mean, they both won the world championships. They're going to fly by people on the course, that's your chance to experience them. Otherwise, you never see them on the course because they're in the front. Now they're in the back, chasing you.
Chasing you down. Yeah. And hey, we could get some youngsters coming in, some young 20-year-olds out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's it's the same here in the UK. I love the old faces. Great to see all the old guys. Not to say old guys, not that old. No, it is
people our age.
Yeah, exactly. Between 35 and kind of 55. But yeah, trying to get the youngsters in is definitely a goal for me, and it's great to see. I've had a few new guys coming in fast. James Jameson and Lewis Williams this year. Who are all both under 25. Be good to see those guys out there. I'll mention it to them. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to get. I've tried to contact what's his name, Alistair
Brownlee.
He just. Yeah. I want him for the super sprint. He would crush on that, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Keep trying, because that would make a big difference. Yeah.
I mean, we saw last year in the super sprint Lisa Nordén. She took Olympic silver, and she was 100th of a second from the gold. So I mean, that's how close she was to the Olympic gold in triathlon.
Wow.
She was super fast, yes, but in the transitions she got crushed by Desiree, who just flew by her. I mean, triathlon transitioning and swim run transitioning are two different worlds, and you could see that so clearly. I mean, Desiree was like 15 meters ahead on the first transition, and she got out of the pool at the same time and was at least 10 meters ahead by the time they started running, just by transitioning.
And was the Olympian sorry, I missed her name. Did she wear a pull buoy and paddles?
Yeah, Lisa Nordén. She's a Swedish triathlon. Yeah. Right. She had pull buoy and everything.
Okay.
We have yet to see a super sprinter doing it sort of clean. They all have. We've had a few try without pull buoy, but they've all sort of regressed to pull buoy. I'm interested in seeing maybe somebody trying like barefoot shoes without pull buoy, but I think you get they're so much faster with paddles. You need the paddles, I think, to compete.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
What's the terrain like underfoot? I'm thinking barefoot. Have you got like actual barefoot runner? with nothing on the feet.
It's like a gravel footpath,
Okay.
basically, and then it's a bit rocky getting in and out, but that's it. So hardly anybody has trail shoes on the super sprint. They have like carbon running shoes because
Hmm.
it's like it's just. I mean, it's brutal. It's like an 800-meter run,
Hmm.
full speed, and
Okay.
you're coming down a really steep hill, making a turn. So if you can keep that speed with you, you're running into that first flat section at a pace that there's no chance you can keep that pace up for 800 meters, but
Hmm.
you think you can. I mean, I've done it.
Hmm.
When you get to like the turn and you realize like, holy crap, I have to run. I have to go all the way over there at this pace. There's no chance.
Yeah.
And then they're stressing each other. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to be first or second.
Yeah. And that I've only done it. Well, I haven't done it. I've done it a few times, but when you've run really fast at a high heart rate and then going into swimming,
Mm,
it's your swimming. My
mm.
swimming goes to pot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, especially if you see, I mean, imagine the situation. You're tired, your heartbeat is way up there. You're going from, vertical to horizontal, which I think is beneficial maybe for the heart rate. I don't know, but I know there's a difference coming out. And then you have two people in front of you. So
Mm.
I have to swim, and they're faster runners than me,
Yeah,
obviously, because they got into the water. So I have to pass them, and I have to build at least like 20 meters lead getting out, and then they're going to chase me up that hill. So I mean, the stress levels are
that,
amazing in that race. It's such a cool race.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
if you can't be there to see it, I mean, we're going to do the live feed as well. We tried a new system last year, which it took like an hour or two to get everything working. We had cameramen all over the course, so we were switching angles all over the place. It'll be a really cool live feed this year to watch. So
Cool,
I recommend that.
cool. And I guess water temperature will vary, but is it kind
Yeah,
of what are we talking? Ballpark
it
figures?
was it was 22 last year. It was so warm, so they were just doing it in like bathing suits and speedos. They weren't wearing wetsuits at all
Okay.
because it was so warm. And you don't need it. It's such a short swim. It's only
Yeah,
200 meters.
yeah, yeah,
You can just power that, even if you're cold. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
You probably like that cold. Cool down
Mm.
a bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, but then
Great.
again, it can be like 14 as well. It depends on what the spring is like. It's like the 2 weeks leading up to the event decide the water temperature.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Cool.
it's cool.
It does
Join us
sound
for
good.
the EX weekend. It's yes, you can hear it. It's Saturday. It's Sunday. There's a party on Saturday night. It's 15 minutes from the airport, so it's easy. You just fly over to Arlanda. You just take a taxi. It's Sabina last year or 2 years ago. She was late coming from Switzerland, I think, and she was, we had her on the phone from Arlanda in the cab, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm changing into my wetsuit in the cab." So the cab
Wow.
driver was driving, and she was getting into a wetsuit in the back seat of the cab.
Oh, I've lost you. What's happened? Hello, Nicholas.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
you're
back.
back. Okay,
I lost you.
it's okay.
You need to do some editing there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, that sounds. Yeah, it sounds like I like the sound of it. I'm not sure how well. Yeah, we'll see how my training goes. With regard, I'd like to try the super sprint. Definitely. I won't be
Or try
making.
the course at
Yeah,
least.
try the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And what else? I imagine is there scope? I guess there's scope to have your SWIMROX on the same weekend in future years, possibly.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do the SWIMROX at the same time that we do the Stockholm Swimrun Cup, which is it's my co-founder Elizabeth. She does the Swimrun Cup, which is like 7 races all over the season in different locations. But we have the location I'm looking at doing the SWIMROX is the first location she does. We host the cup, so we might combine the two. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
You have to check out the website and us on social, and we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, of course. And you've got your safaris coming up again and your tours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are amazing. That's organizing a race is one thing. I mean, I don't get to race. I just organize, and it just takes hours and hours and hours to get everything in place. When I do the safaris, and that's my playtime, because I'm part. I mean, I organize, I host, I lead, I guide, but I'm also part of it. So we do this year we're doing 2 major safaris, which are, if you have the chance, you should really try. I mean, this is nothing like a swim run race. I mean, I live on the summertime on an island, Rudmara, which is part of the Atia course. It's almost at the outer edge of the Stockholm archipelago. There's a couple islands left, and then you're at I mean, that's the ocean. Then you have Finland.
Mm.
So the safaris we're doing the safari tour, which we tried last year. and that's basically going from the mainland all the way out to the edge of the ocean, swim running, combined with sea kayaking. So we have like 4 teams in 4 kayaks, and then we have 4 swim runners or teams. So the kayaks are sort of being the safety boats, and then we do like a 4 hour swim run to an island where we have lunch, and then we switch. So then you get in a kayak, I get into the water, and then I do another 4 hours, and then we're at the very edge of the Stockholm archipelago, and there we stay. I book. There's a small hostel there. It's actually becoming a marine national park now. So
Mm.
we stay there for the night and have dinner and some wine and some sauna and enjoy the evening, and then the day after we do another full day going down to Nämdö, which is also part of the LTR course, and then coming back up to the mainland. So it's such a cool. It's a 36-hour swim run, all inclusive. I fix, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, kayaks, everything. You just need to sign up, and trust me that we can do it.
Cool. Sounds great. Sounds great. And another thing I
Um,
spotted, the Plaitas training camp in March.
yeah,
That looks good.
why not? I mean, I've been there a couple of times, Platos, and I just love it. I mean, if you haven't been there, it's one of the best training centers that I know of in Europe, and they have the 50-meter pool, the Olympic pool. That's the main difference between a lot of the other training centers. And I was there with my family just like a few months ago, and why we should be able to get a group of people here and do like a swim run training camp, which has been done. I mean, it's nothing new.
Mm.
It's just that we're doing it now under the EX brand.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of people signed up. So we're heading down on the 10th of March to the 17th of March for a full week of like, we have 4 hours in the pool booked, so we can use those hours. We have, we're going to do running. We're going to do a lot of like yoga and beach volleyball, and I'm going to drink a few beers and have fun. So it's
Yeah.
a really cool, like a training camp, get to know community, have fun.
Yeah.
It'll be serious, but it's not like, hardcore training all the time.
Yeah. Looks great. Looks great. Nice
We
way
have
to.
tons of stuff.
Yeah, I
We have
know. I
tons of
know you
stuff.
do. I know. Well, yeah, keep it going. Keep it going. And
Yeah.
you'll have to come over to the UK for something, Nicholas.
I want to try it, definitely. Where should I go? Should I go to Liverpool? Is that where
Yes.
you're at?
Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in
Is
Liverpool
that
and
the place to
Wales.
be?
It's a great. I think you'd love the Eliminator, 3rd of May.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not the speeds of your super sprint there. It's very accessible in terms of getting to
Yeah.
the following lap. It's a 6-lap job. You'd definitely get to lap 5, I would have thought.
Yeah.
You might even get to lap 6.
It's a cool concept. I mean, I don't know what it's called when there's the backyard ultra, and then I've seen running races like that where you get less time for each lap, and it's a knockout. People get knocked
Yeah,
out. I love the idea of like pacing yourself in the beginning and then having to push really hard, and then in the end
yeah,
you're just out. It
yeah,
just spits you out somewhere along the way,
yeah. No, it
and it's a
is
cool
fun,
concept.
and it's not the first lap for many people. I'd say 90% of people, it's kind of a social lap. It's a recce.
Yeah,
The recce in the course,
yeah,
and they're chatting. So it's that element of it. It's really nice. So yeah, I'm bringing that to
yeah.
Wales as well, in Abu Dhabi and Tullyclyn. So
Cool,
an eliminator
cool.
series, if you like, in
Wow.
3 very different venues. So yeah, you'd be
Well,
very
I mean,
welcome.
that's the cool thing I like with SwimRun. I mean, it was when it was founded, it was all experimental, of course. Then there was like a 10-year period, maybe like a 15-year period, where it was getting more and more standardized, where everything was looking the same. That's why we started EX with the idea of, okay, we're going to try new things. Everything that's been done, let's do something else. I
Mm,
mean, the super sprint was just we were out drinking beer, me and Per and Elizabeth planning, and I said we saw the Stockholm Castle, and there used to be a ski race around that castle. They bring in trucks load of snow, and it was like a super sprint. I think they called it the Castle Sprint, and it was like the best skiers there, just pushing, with, crowds everywhere cheering, and it was like a 1K course, and it was the shortest ski race in the world, and it was also the most accessible. And we said we need to do something like that for swimrun. And
cool.
then I mean we've been testing with the pursuit start.
Yeah,
That's a new concept
yeah, that's cool.
that
Mm,
we wanted to change it up a bit, and the
yeah,
jump, and I mean we're just doing different things, and that's why we're
yeah,
doing the SWIMROX, the Playitas, the Safari race, the Safari Tour. We'll see what sticks,
yeah,
but you need to try stuff.
yeah. Cool, good stuff. Right then,
Very cool.
Nicholas. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and
Yeah,
hopefully.
I'll try to be there in May then.
Yeah,
Send me
do.
the dates,
I
and
will. I will.
can you fix tickets if we go to see Liverpool? I'm there.
Oh yeah, I could potentially do that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Leave
Can
it
you
with
make
me.
sure they're playing the same weekend? That'd be
They
great.
are. I think they're away that weekend.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which I don't know who they're away against. But I kind of wanted them to be away because it's busy.
Of
There's
course.
pros and cons about being away and not being
You
away.
don't want a lot of drunk hooligans cheering you on. That'd be
No,
cool.
I love drunk hooligans, but no, just the accommodation that's available.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah. Of
plenty,
course.
there's loads in Liverpool. They're playing against Chelsea
Yeah.
away, so that's an easy
All right.
3 points in the bag there. Uh,
Yeah.
but Everton
Yeah.
are Everton are at home against Ipswich Town. There we go.
All right. I'll try to make it. I mean, basically, in our podcast, we've every race we've interviewed, we've said we'll do it. So I have like 20 races I've signed up to mentally,
Yeah,
and then I'm doing a couple of ultras and some marathons and stuff. So I really need to start looking at the dates now. But
yeah,
it'd be cool. It'd be very cool. I'll try to make it if I can.
cool, good man, good man. Okay, well,
Cool.
I'll try and make it over there end of May.
Yeah, please do come as our guest, and we'll let you do the super sprint course in front of everybody, cheering you on.
God, no.
Like
Okay.
you can be the Bill Murray person in the Olympics, that the normal person doing it, so everybody can see how fast they are, the real experts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Cool.
Okay,
Okay. Well, thank you,
nice talking to
Nicholas.
you.
And yeah, see you soon. Bye now.
Okay, bye bye.